Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. This is Dream Another Day Tarot, and this is going to be a reading for whoever needs to hear it. Please keep in mind these are general readings, so they may or may not resonate with you. Just take what does and leave the rest for somebody else. Also, please keep in mind that gender is fluid in tarot, so just place yourself where you fit in the storyline. And I will do my best to use gender neutral language as much as possible in order to make these readings more inclusive. Okay. Fool card coming out. Okay, I just finished up a reading on TikTok and the Fool card came out in there as well. Page of Cups in reverse. So it's kind of like making the decision to go big or go home. That's the energy, is go big. We're not doing small cups, okay? We're going big. We're going for our dreams, our passions, our desires, right? Our future, okay? So I'm going to slip those back in the deck and say my affirmations. Thank you so much for being here, y'all. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all, and it really means a lot to see this channel start to pick up a little bit of speed here. I've been doing this channel for going on 2 years, but I've been reading tarot for over a decade, so it really means a lot. Look at that, 7 of Pentacles. I've been planting the seeds, baby. So we're getting to watch it grow now, so it's very exciting. So thank you so much for that. All right, I'm going to say my affirmations here. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your divine messages and guidance. We are deeply grateful, and we know we couldn't do this without you. Would you please help guide the collective spirit for their highest good? And please bless us and protect us as we move forward into this reading. Okay, you gots to set the tone. Also, did a live last night, a surprise live reading, and it went so well. And I noticed that a lot of y'all like to ask love questions, love related questions. And I think that's beautiful, and I'd love to answer any type of question, but it's overwhelmingly love and relationship oriented. So I wanted to take a moment to just say that, you know, please always keep in mind that if something is, this isn't universal, but I'll say it's a pretty good rule of thumb, that if something is, you know, upsetting you, distressing you, and, you know, kind of consuming you, and this is only for those who it resonates with, okay? Love can be a very consuming experience, okay? But if you are feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling consumed, you're feeling stressed, whatever, when it comes to love and relationships, I highly advise taking a moment and redirecting your attention just a little bit onto literally anything else. And this is just from experience, a little piece of advice. I really feel like it will help you to be able to attract more love by not focusing on it. You know what I mean? And it's funny how the universe works, but sometimes it's like that, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this reading. I got the Knight of Swords coming out here. Communication, sometimes blunt, sometimes harsh. Maybe that's my energy right now. But it's because I love y'all, and I hate to see, you know, so much stress and strife. And I know that it's like if a relationship is important to you, then it's really hard to not have strong feelings about it, okay? But just remember who you are. Remember who the fuck you are. Excuse my language. Seriously, remember who you are. You know, stay confident, stay powerful, stay blessed. Like, don't let it bring you down, basically, is what I'm saying. So, okay. Now that that's out of the way, I am doing personal readings. You can always ask me questions in the live stream for free, so long as I can get to you. But you're always welcome to drop a donation as well. That's in the description box of all my videos. But if you want a more personal, in-depth, private reading, just hit me up on Instagram, and we can go from there, okay? Oop, okay, we're not going to take anything. Anyway, please do remember to hit the buttons. Also, like, share, subscribe, comment. Sorry if that made any noise. I know it kind of picks up on the mic when it does that. Okay, 10 of Cups, okay? You also have the 2 of Pentacles coming out in reverse. So it's like so funny because I'm really wanting to talk about this love energy. But when I see this, my first thought is that, you know, it's really hard to foster love in your life if you are not feeling very balanced. And this can mean a variety of things, whether it means you are overworked, okay? Or you are, you know, emotionally dysregulated. That's a really great way of putting it, because it's not something that you should be like blame yourself for or judge yourself for being out of balance. That's never the purpose or the goal of acknowledging imbalance, unless of course you're making, you know, decisions and have patterns of behavior. Even then, it's still something that you have the ability to grow from, right? So you're never static. You know, we're always changing and growing. And so even if we are feeling out of balance, it doesn't mean that we don't deserve this, right? It doesn't mean that this isn't coming or that it's not possible, all right? So I just want to put that out there. World card in reverse, okay? So this is kind of talking about cycles, all right? Tower in reverse, avoiding disaster by avoiding change. Queen of Cups in reverse, again, that emotional dysregulation. That's kind of crazy how that's all coming out. Three of Cups in reverse. We're getting a lot of reversals. Is my whole deck? No, my deck's not in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse is like, you know, having a challenging time just celebrating life, celebrating other people, you know, connecting with your community. This can also talk about, again, it's so funny because you have the Three of Cups and the World card in reverse, and it shows 3 people on each card. So it's almost like maybe there's 2 other people in your life who you see as like significant relationships, whether this is like, you know, literally just your friends, but this could also talk about maternal figures or other people in your life, and you just feel like you're not able to connect with them. And it could have to do with, again, like maybe some type of lifestyle change that needs to take place either for you or them. And I feel like that's really impacting you on a heart level, like emotionally. You're trying to avoid, maybe somebody in your life or you is trying to avoid change, trying to avoid endings, trying to avoid disaster. And, you know, so it's kind of like it's throwing you out of balance. And like I said, this could be you or this could be one of these other 2 people is what I'm getting. So if you have significant relationships in your life, like I'm thinking siblings, parents, you know, friends, lovers, and if you feel like you're not connecting with the people in your life who you love and want to be in connection with, it could be because of some level of resistance to change. Now, it could be either your relationships are changing or maybe you have changed. And so then, you know, there's resistance in your relationships now because, you know, you're not just giving of yourself as much as you maybe did in the past. I'm getting that with the Queen of Cups in reverse. And again, regardless of gender, you can be any gender for any of these cards, okay? And likewise with anybody who shows up in your reading, okay? Look at that, Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. It's like a moment of clarity, I feel like, is going to come to you, and it's going to be really clear what's going on. You know, like, why is your love life not what you want it to be? Or why is your, I mean, even for some of you guys might be married. Oh no. Just dropped a card. I dropped that Ace of Swords. Okay, just give me 1 second, y'all. I need to like, yeah, Devil card at the bottom of the deck. Just give me 1 second. This is not for anybody who's married. Okay, that's coming through. This is talking about for those who want relationships, better relationships, even possibly for some of you, but who want a solid, like committed long-term relationship, but it may be coming as a challenge, or maybe it's been a challenging aspect of your life, or you're kind of like, why is this not materializing yet? Or why hasn't this come together? You know, why doesn't it work out, etc., right? And I feel like it's tracing back to some type of internal phenomenon that's happening. And again, this is not something to be angry at yourself for or to judge yourself, unless that is going to motivate you to change. Because if it's going to motivate you to feel bad about yourself, and then that prevents you from evolving or moving forward, I wouldn't say evolving, but it prevents you from improving, you know, in whatever area this is, because it can be so different for everybody. I'm getting that it's like all across the map. This is just about some level of imbalance, and the cause and the symptoms might be different, okay, if that makes sense. Like I said, we all are fluid all the time. You know what I mean? So one day, maybe we're solid, we got our shit together, we're doing a great job. And then the next day, it's like, you know what I mean? We feel like trash and we maybe don't show up the way that we want to, you know? So imbalance can happen really easily. Even just the balance of our body, our pH, you know, is something that takes maintenance. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like controlling a fire, basically, you know, because it can burn out of control pretty easily, you know? Look at that, 4 of Wands. I feel like this is your focus right now. For whatever reason, like, I really feel like I'm attracting viewers who are really focused on love and relationships right now, which is so funny because for the first time in my life, look at that 2 of Cups. I'm like not focused on that. So it's really interesting. It's very interesting to have readings come through that have like a 0. Like, I mean, I wouldn't say 0 to do with me because I think there's a reason why I'm being chosen for these messages, if that makes sense. But sometimes it's hard to gauge like where the energy is coming from. So when the energy is just like very, very clearly not coming from me, I get kind of excited because I'm like, okay, good. That means that I'm channeling. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So look, King of Pentacles. Okay, some of y'all are looking for somebody who's got their ish together, and maybe that's part of it too. Is like we all can be in and out of balance. So maybe you write people off when you feel like you're not connecting with them the way that you would like. Ace of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you want passion in your life. You want a new beginning. Empress card. You really are. You're attracting it. You're calling it in. I mean, it's definitely in your energy. You know, you're focused on it. But Ace of Cups in reverse, you feel like it's not coming in. 7 of Swords and the Knight of Cups with the 5 of Cups. Yeah, that makes sense. And what I'm getting from those cards is that I feel like, you know, love isn't coming in with this Ace of Cups in reverse because of some level of deceptive energy from, you know, maybe people who come towards you, right, with this romantic energy. And so you're kind of like, yeah, well, I mean, shit happened in the past and I just don't want that to happen again. So there could be this level of fear. Okay, the Devil energy also represents fear. But then look at that. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming out right after that. So, I mean, I feel like you may be underestimating what's possible for you, and you may be underestimating what other people are capable of showing up like for you, right? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and switch decks. Again, please remember to hit those buttons, y'all. It really makes a big difference. I do have a goal. I am trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of the summer. That way I can post in the community tab and I can tell you guys what's going on. I'm about, I don't know, a third of the way there. But my subscriber count will be public at the end of July. And so I would really like to increase my subscriber count before then. Okay, so Queen of Cups. This is like getting back in touch with your heart, getting back in touch with your love and compassion for yourself, first and foremost, honey, especially if you're like, oh my God, everything that goes wrong in my life is my fault and I need to change my brain and I don't know how. And like that sort of self-help is not helpful. And I'm saying that from a place of compassion because I'm frustrated with that narrative. I think it's really toxic to, you know, kind of like look at people who are struggling and be like, yeah, that's just because they aren't strong enough or they aren't figuring it out, and just placing a lot of blame and scapegoating on people where there's a certain level of responsibility we have to take for our lives. But there is a certain element of outside interference that impacts us in a pretty significant way that can then steer our life in a totally different direction. So it's important to have compassion for yourself, especially first and foremost, but, you know, try and let that translate, you know, to other people as well. So again, it's kind of like you really deep down are just like very heartfelt, very loving. I feel like you are very passionate, very sexual. Like I'm getting a lot of sensual energy with this like Ace of Wands, you know, Queen of Cups. It's very watery, Empress, like very abundant, like fertile is the word, regardless of gender again. Look at that, 3 of Cups in reverse again. Crazy, different deck. So that's, I think, confirmation that like, you know, this part of yourself that really wants to love and be loved, right, is, I feel like there's some level of like dissatisfaction for sure, okay? Animosity is a word that I'm hearing. I'm not really seeing it in the cards, but I'm feeling it. So there's a certain level of resentment, possibly anger, sadness, you know, just all around, you know, I just feel like your love life, for whatever reason, has really thrown you off balance and kind of actually your love life may actually be, for some of you, the source of the imbalance, that there's something there that I feel like is possibly what's going on here. And what I think is so interesting is it's like, how could it be the chicken and the egg, right? Like, you know, so it's kind of like your love life is suffering because your love life is suffering. Like, so it sounds really like kind of dumb, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is the energy I'm getting is something at some point, or for whatever reason, there was something that threw your love life off balance, whether that was a deceptive partner, or it was, you know, bad experiences or trauma. It could be a multitude of things, okay, if not all of the above, right? And so I feel like that impacted you on an emotional level, like on a spiritual level, really, like your heart here. Okay, it's all connected, but, you know, just for the sake of brevity. So I feel like it impacted you on an emotional level, and that has kind of been the state of things in your love life, right? In your relationships. And so I feel like it even impacts your ability to trust other people, where you're like, you don't even trust friends, family, other people around you, acquaintances, because you're like, you know, if somebody who is that close to me, or an intimate partner can be that way to me, then I can't really trust anybody. And for some of you guys, maybe you've had bad experiences with friends too, and family, right? Chariot card. But you are trying to move forward. That I think is the overwhelming message also. And in the TikTok reading I just did, that came through as well. This idea of persevering, pushing forward, continuing to improve regardless, okay, of your past, being able to let go of that anxiety, let go of the pain, and be able to grow and move forward, especially in your love life, because I feel like that's a part of your life that is just not fulfilling right now, or hasn't been, and it's something that you deeply want to fulfill, you know, so there could just be this level of stress when it comes to that, but again, there's a little bit of a resistance to change, because here's the thing too, especially if your love life has struggled, if you then engage with somebody on a deep romantic level, or it, you know what I mean, gets serious, as people like to say, right? Your relationship starts to deepen, okay? Then it's like, I feel like you're gonna have to change, okay, in order to be in connection with another person. Almost always, just from me looking from the outside in and from my own experiences, more often than not, you are going to have to change to be in connection with anybody, okay? So what that change looks like really depends on the compatibility levels, and it also depends on how much you are willing to invest in change in order to, you know, basically be in cooperation with another person, right? And to be in a healthy relationship, because there's a certain amount of compromise that happens in every relationship. And the only way to determine if it's healthy or not, okay, is if it's equal, or if, I would say maybe not equal, because if one partner already is a pretty good partner, pretty good at being a partner, and they don't have a whole lot of behavioral patterns that are, you know, harmful, then it's like you're not going to do as much, you shouldn't do as much compromising, right, when it comes to somebody who maybe is showing up in the relationship with like a lot of behavioral patterns that are harmful or challenging. Then I feel like that person is going to have to put in more work to get to your level, right? So it's kind of like, that's, I think, where the, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is you're kind of going to pick up where you left off, even if it's just temporarily, while you get into the swing of being in a relationship again. It's kind of like you're going to have to face yourself a little bit. And I feel like these imbalances, or this pain, or this resistance is going to come up, okay? Because we can, we can work through things in our mind and in the therapist office as much as we want, but it's not going to be the same as putting it into practice. So when we're able to actually have an opportunity to put these things into practice, we might be a little rusty at first, okay? Or maybe we have to get into the swing of things just with this new person in general, you know, that it's not just about the fact that it's a relationship, it's the fact that it's with somebody new, okay? So I'm pulling off the top here, I don't know why. 7 of Cups in reverse, okay? So I feel like this is going to really shatter your illusions here when you do get into this relationship. And yes, I'm going to say it like that because that's the feeling I'm getting. That I feel like you're going to, first off, I feel like you're going to narrow your options, all right? Seven of Cups is all about options, decisions, choices, but it's also about illusion and fantasy. So it's kind of like I feel like you're going to have to face... I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm wanting to laugh. I'm sorry. But I feel like you're going to kind of have to face whatever fantasies you might have about being in a relationship. And I'm not saying that you're ignorant or that you just don't know any better or anything like that. I mean, I feel like we're all much wiser than we give ourselves and each other credit for. So I'm not going to be the one to do that to you today, okay? So I trust and believe you have enough, you've been able to ascertain enough through life that you do realize that there is a reality to life and that it's not all fantasy and all that sort of thing. However, we all are conditioned to a certain degree to have this idealized fantasy about love. And then when we're actually faced with it, it's like it can be deeply disappointing when it is not those things that you hope for. And that's probably part of the reason why there's so much emotional pain in this reading, but also in general with people and relationships, because we have this expectation and then here's reality. And then this is really the spectrum we should be looking at, but instead we're looking at the fantasy all the way down to the disappointing. So then it's like, if it's only ever going to get this good, then it's never going to be our fantasy, right? So then it's like, we should be gauging it like this and we go, damn, this is a pretty good relationship. You know what I mean? But compared to my fantasy, it ain't shit and it's never gonna be. And so I feel like you're gonna have to face a lot of fantasies also about yourself, because you may think to yourself like, I would be such a great partner. I don't know why nobody gives me a chance, or, you know, or why nothing ever works out. And so you're like, really, I feel like, and this is just, if it doesn't resonate, don't, you know, if the shoe doesn't fit, right? But the idea, like the energy I'm getting from this Seven of Cups, for whatever reason, is like, you're going to have to face your own shortcomings, babe. You know, we all have them. And I feel like maybe you have this, and this is what this relationship is going to do for you. Okay. And so it's a positive thing. So please don't take it as like I said, I'm not belittling you whatsoever, because I'm saying we're all in the same boat. We all just got different ailments, okay? How about that? We all have our own little quirks and things that we need to work through, especially when it comes to relationship cooperation, right? So, okay, Chariot and the Seven of Cups in reverse is like, you are going to be able to move on from this fantasy or move on from all these choices, right? You may be on the dating scene. It's like, you know, I feel like this is going to wipe out the competition, okay? It's going to help you move forward emotionally and also move forward in life, because when these aspects of our life are fulfilled and healthy and doing well and thriving, then our whole life is going to be better, right? So if you don't have that, and you maybe have never had that, or that's something that is just, it's just been this painful aspect of your life, right? Which I think is so relatable for so many people too. I think it's much more rare to find people who have a good relationship with their love life, right? Who are like, yeah, my love life has been great, you know, or yeah, there's some rough patches, but for the most part, I don't think hardly anybody has that take, okay? So I don't think this is a hot take necessarily. I think this is pretty common. So it's not anything to, again, feel ashamed about, because like literally 90% of the population feels that way, okay? Nine of Swords in reverse, again. That's crazy. Well, because the Nine of Swords came out in reverse in the TikTok reading right before I hopped on here. Which, go follow me, by the way. I do shorter readings over there, and then I come and I do the more in-depth stuff here. So it's just like, this is going to change your fucking life. Like, I just don't know how else to put it. And I hope you don't mind me cursing, because I curse. But I'm telling you, I feel like this is going to change your life. Hangman in reverse is about coming out of contemplation, gaining the enlightenment, okay? So here's the thing. You've gone, I feel like, about as far as you can go on your own. And now it's time to take what you have learned or what you have worked through, or the awareness about yourself and others and relationships that you have kind of tried to gain, okay, while being single. Because this is like, I feel like that's just who this reading is for, is people who are single right now, or maybe in some type of situationship, but you want something more fulfilling, and your love life has not been the best. Okay, so that's kind of the category, right, that I'm feeling out for this reading here. But this is also for those people who are getting ready to, I feel like, embark on this new journey in love. But again, it's like you are going to be faced with some level of emotional challenge. Okay, so don't be surprised when this happens, and please don't write off the relationship because you are attributing things to the person rather than to yourself, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times we'll just become triggered. Okay, so if you're triggered by somebody, and it's not like I said, like, I'm not gonna say that to just let people get away with everything. No. Okay, I'm talking about if it's not outright overtly abusive, you know what I mean, and it's not underhandedly or passively abusive. It's simply somebody saying that they can't make plans that day. Breaking plans is different, but I think if you're trying to connect with someone and then, you know, they're not available, that can be triggering for some people, right? Or if someone doesn't text you back right away. Okay, here's a very simple and relatable example, I think, for most people. So if you suffer with anxiety, right, relationship anxiety, or you struggle with emotional dysregulation due to relationships, then I feel like this reading is for you, because what's going to happen here, okay, is that you're going to face yourself, okay, recognize how your love life has been either affected by or contributing to, probably both, like I said, the chicken and the egg, this imbalance that's been going on, whatever it is. And the goal is to clear this imbalance out, right? To clear it up, to get back into balance so that you can be happy, healthy, thriving, and abundant and prosperous, right? And move forward into your purpose. That's the goal, right? At least like on this channel, you know what I mean? So the goal is not to revel, you know what I mean, in the pain any longer. Like, I feel like you've already done that, right? I feel like you've done that. So when you connect with this person and things start moving really quickly, and all of a sudden you're clearing out all the cobwebs, right? You know, and I don't mean that in like some weird sexual joke, right? I'm saying like of your soul. Like, I feel like you're going to be clearing out the cobwebs of your soul, okay? You're going to be overcoming this anxiety, so you're going to feel a lot more stable emotionally, okay? You're going to be clearing up any fantasies or like illusion of choice and all that stuff. You're throwing that all out the window. You're like, you know what? I want the real deal, and I know that the real deal has, you know what I mean, blood, sweat, and tears, okay? And I'm okay with that. I am here for that. I don't want the fantasy anymore. It's not even real, you know? It's made me miserable. That kind of energy, and things move really quickly. I think that you will be very surprised, okay, when this starts to come to fruition. Look at that, King of Wands. Hell yeah. That honestly is crazy, because the King of Wands also came out. Did it come out in this reading? No, it didn't. It was the damn TikTok reading again. I swear to God, y'all. Sorry to keep referring to it, but this came out. So the King of Wands is all about being confident, being passionate, going after what you want. You know what I mean? Being powerful. And so this is your energy, but this also feels like the energy of whoever's coming in too. Like, it's almost like, okay, you know, early in the morning, in places where it's foggy, you have like all this fog early in the morning. And then when the sun comes up, it starts to push the fog because of the temperature difference, and it starts to burn the fog off. People call it that. So it's like it starts clearing out the condensation and the fog in the atmosphere until like the sky is clear, right? And I'm explaining that because I feel like this King of Wands is gonna come in and burn off that fog. You know what I mean? And like really clear out the energy. And so I feel like you're gonna have a little moment, okay, where that this stuff is gonna come up. And then I feel like you're going to be able to really let it go. Like, you're going to be able to really heal from this, like from your past, from your, you know, love life, from your imbalance, whatever it is. I feel like this is like a major, major breakthrough for you. And I feel like this person is going to love to witness it. Like, I feel like this person is going to be like, all that on account of me, you know? They're going to be really, I feel like, supportive. You know what I mean? I feel like they're going to be really passionate about the connection. And it's not going to be like, I don't think they're going to be any stranger to this thing, like to this sort of thing. I don't feel like they're going to be any type of immature about it. I don't think that they're going to make it worse. at all. If anything, I honestly think y'all are going to connect a lot physically. Like, I'm just getting that energy because you got the Ace of Wands, you got this King of Wands. It's very fiery, passionate, like sexual energy. And you got the Empress. So I'm just saying, like, those are definitely very, like, you know, passionate cards. So I feel like a lot of your guys' work that you do together, like this spiritual work, I feel like it's gonna like be more, I feel like it's gonna be intimate. Like, I feel like intimacy is gonna be a big catalyst for a lot of this for you, which is great. 8 of coins. Okay, so again, it's like that work, right? So this is about putting in the work. I feel like this relationship is gonna take work. Okay, and if you've ever worked on a project where that you just had to be consistent and keep going until you know, finished what you started, then it's like, you know, the reward that comes with that and how blessed it is to put in hard work, you know, and get something out of it. So it's not like this is going to be like, y'all, here's another toxic idea that really bothers me that I would love to touch on in this reading, which I'm going to wrap it up soon. But real quick, before I do, one of the toxic things that I hear a lot is that if something is hard or it's not working, then it's not meant to be. Now, there's a spectrum, okay? So I'm not going to sit here and say that there's no truth in that. But what I'm going to say is that a lot of great things take a lot of hard work, okay? It's not that it's not meant to be. It's just that it's challenging, okay? You're not good at things just, I mean, some people are naturals, but that's more like being lucky, or it just happens to be that way. Like, I wouldn't say that if something is challenging, you should give up and just not do it. Like, to the contrary, if something is challenging and you really want to accomplish it, then you're just going to have to rise to the challenge. You know what I mean? And then if you don't feel like it's worth the work, then that's your feeling and you can just choose not to do it. But don't let challenges make you feel like something is not meant to be, because maybe the challenge is meant to be. Maybe it's a challenge because it's something that needs to be addressed, or it is something that is valuable, you know? So please just keep that in mind when you meet this person, because I feel like first off, it's going to be really good though. I don't think it's going to be like you'll know the difference. Okay. Like, don't just like, you know, be all wide-eyed and bushy-tailed for anybody who approaches you right now because you think, oh, well, even if it sucks or it doesn't feel good, then it's you know, it's probably that person, you know. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that when this person approaches you, it's going to feel really good. I think that it's going to be really like hot and passionate, and you guys are going to be really into each other, and it's going to be great. And then I feel like when things get intimate and when things get deeper, that's when the challenging stuff comes up. Okay, so I'm not saying that it's just this person is going to be really challenging to even be in connection with. No, I think that there's going to be emotional challenges that come up that might get triggered because there's that part of you that is now being activated, right, by this person. And so you guys are going to activate each other, but for whatever reason, I'm getting that there's just going to be a big focus on healing you, like you getting healed up, okay, from your emotional wounding. And I feel like this person, it's like, don't feel like there's a power dynamic because of that, because this person, they are at your service, right? Like, that's kind of the energy, is like they're here for you. And it's not that you're not going to be there for them. That's not what I mean either. I'm just saying that there may be a dynamic of like, you know, healer and healed, right? Like, I feel like that there's going to be this level of like giving and compassion and passion, right? And kind of wanting to be there for you in the beginning of this relationship. And I feel like they're going to be really into that dynamic. Like, it doesn't feel like, I'm just getting a lot of energy from this King of Wands, okay? But what I'm really getting is like, I don't think this person is going to feel burdened by you. I think they're going to be really into you. I think that they're going to be like, comes with the territory. You know what I mean? I don't think they're any stranger to this. I think that you're more than worth the work, okay? And I think they're going to feel that way. And so it's kind of like, no, I think it's going to be really like, I don't know why I'm getting this, y'all, but I just feel like it's going to be a dynamic that they're into. Like, it's hot for them. Like, they're not turned off by emotional depth. They're not turned off by you know, being vulnerable. Like they're into it. Okay. That's what I'm getting, which is perfect for the person that I'm reading for. It's perfect for your energy because I feel like you really deserve that, you know, and you really need that in some ways too. Like I feel like that's the type of person that you need to really like basically, and I wouldn't say fill a role because everybody's different. So don't try and fit them in a box either. And I feel like they're not going to do that to you. But like what I'm saying is I feel like they are going to be a big element of fulfilling this area of your life. And it's going to be very impactful, like on down the line throughout all the aspects of your life. And so I feel like this is going to be a really powerful connection. And so again, I'm not like cautioning you because I don't think there's any warnings. It's more just like a heads up. Like heads up, you might feel a little bit emotionally triggered when things get deeper. You may feel a little bit vulnerable because this person maybe isn't going to appear like they have similar emotional dysregulation or similar emotional struggles. I don't think that they're going to appear that way at all. I think they're going to appear to be very put together. You know what I mean? It's really showing up for you and being like, I'm at your service. Like I'm in great shape for this type of emotional labor, right? They're like, I'm fired up about it. I love it. I'm here for it. Like, let's fucking do this. So I think you're going to be really surprised by their level of involvement in your emotional landscape, like their level of interest and curiosity and like ability to be emotionally available, okay? And clearly physically available. But it's like, I feel like you're gonna be really surprised by that. And so there may be some insecurities that come up where you're like, well, why would you want to do all this emotional labor with me? Like, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel like there's going to be a lot of that sort of thing that will want to come up. But I'm just advising you, just fucking enjoy it. Like, just enjoy it. Don't try and stop them from being there for you. Like, don't try and stop this connection. Like, I really am getting that. So for those of you who are resonating, I really just hope that this is helpful. Look, Knight of Pentacles. This is someone who's down for the work. They're down for the long haul. One of the most consistent knights in the deck, you know, and also, I mean, consistent, but also sometimes slow. But what's crazy is it's not like, here's what's crazy, because you're getting the Chariot. This is going to move really fast. I don't think this is going to be a slow relationship, okay, which is part of why it might be triggering, because you're like, damn, like, we're really going for it. And I didn't expect this level of emotional intimacy. Like, I didn't expect all this. So you're kind of going to be like, okay, this is a lot, you know, but this person's like, I'm not going anywhere. So we can go at your pace, whatever you want to do. We can speed it up. We can slow it down, baby. Like, I am not worried. This person's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm here for you. I don't know that it's like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Y'all, okay, regardless of gender, divine counterpart energy. This is how they see you because they know like what a hot tamale you are. All right, like they fucking get that. They get it. And that's part of why I feel like I'm not saying that they're willing to do emotional labor because like they're really attracted to you, but like low key you guys are a very passionate couple. Like you're gonna be a very, very sexy couple. Just saying. We love it. We love to see it. So I think you guys are going to be a really sexy couple. And I think whatever comes up for you emotionally is going to be like, comes with the territory. I don't think they're going to be tripping on it at all. I think they're going to be like, that's hot. I love it. You know, we're good to go. Like I bring it on, basically. Like this person's like, bring it on, babe. I can handle whatever you got to throw at me. You know, not literally don't throw things at your partner, please. But like, I'm just saying that, I mean, they're going to be able to handle it. That's all I have to say. They're going to be able to fucking handle it, bitch. They're going to handle that shit. Y'all, I'm so sorry. Like, the energy is very palpable in this reading. It is so obvious to me, like, what's going on here. It's great. No, it's so good. Okay, Judgment. Okay, this is, I feel like, something that you have earned. Y'all, I can't make this shit up. I literally can't make this shit up. You've earned this, okay? This is part of your karma. Part of your good karma, okay? Is this fucking hottie bombadi, okay? The hottie with the body. They're coming to hit it up. But in an emotional way, too. It's badass. Okay, so the Sun card, it trumps every other card on the table. It came out in the TikTok reading before I hopped over here. And it's just ultimate happiness, you know? ultimate joy, being able to be carefree, secure, comfortable, confident, relaxed because you know this person's not going anywhere. So half of the anxiety that you deal with in relationships is people just being like standoffish or not communicating well or deciding, that they're going to have one foot in, one foot out. And we can feel that shit. And especially if someone's not communicating it, it's like we also, I will just say, regardless of gender, but no, I won't even say it. I'll just say people can feel it when you're one foot in, one foot out. You don't have to say it. People can tell by your behavior, by your actions, by the way you communicate. How scarce is it that I see you? Okay? You don't have to say it. It's obvious, right? But it's great if you do say it because that can help somebody with their anxiety to know where you're at, okay, in life and know where you're at with the relationship or the connection, the friendship, the fuck buddy, dumb, whatever, I'm just saying, just communicate. It's good. It's good to communicate. So, one second. Getting to be a long reading, y'all. I think I'm going to end it here on the sun because that's a great way to end the reading. I'm just saying, this is divine counterpart energy. This is your karma. I feel like this is going to be something really fucking positive for you, and I would not worry. And I honestly don't think you're going to once all this stuff is cleared out of the way, once these initial triggers come up and this person sticks with it and they stand by your side anyway because they're like, look, you are worth it. You're worth the work, okay, of being there for you, right? Like, I mean, I feel like this person's like, yeah, I have no problem with this. No, this is not a big deal. Like, I genuinely think this person is going to be very, very into you, okay? They're not tripping on it at all. They see what a loving person you are. They see how powerful you are and how sexy you are. Like, it's all worth it to them. To them, they're like, it's not even a question whether or not I'm going to be a shoulder to cry on because I want to be. Look, King of Cups in reverse. You might even be surprised, honey, because, wow, this is so interesting because the Queen of Cups came out in reverse earlier, right? So it's actually like you all really actually share a lot of similarities, and you might be really surprised that maybe once they're done being strong for you, it's like you're going to be able to be strong for them, It's really sweet. Yeah, I feel like I don't know, I just get this feeling that y'all are going to be like really, just a really good match. Okay, anyway, I'm talking too much, I gotta go, but I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you, as always, for being here. Please do remember to like, share, and subscribe. God, I hate this, but my ring light is starting to come on my camera. Yeah, but hit those buttons, do all the things, follow me on my other socials. Again, I'm on Instagram if you want to hit me up there. All of that is in my link tree below. And until next time, y'all, I appreciate you. Sorry. And I will see you again in the next one. All right. Thanks, y'all. Last deck in the basket. All right. Bye.